maybe you have customers, or your policy is, I don't want my customer sales personnel or my salesperson to hear the credit card information nor enter it in themselves. I would rather the customer do that themselves, or the customer may choose to want to do that. So I'm going to enter in another order where we're going to see another capability called Authorize by email, so that you have a full understanding of how that works. Everything is pretty much the same as you'll see. I'm going to go ahead and mark it in the payment instrument, and I'm going to add my order lines, whatever they may be. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the submit and close button here. And it's going to drive me again to the same application we saw earlier. But this time, instead of hitting this authorize with a new card and popping out to the pay cloud and entering, the salesperson entering the order themselves, we're going to use this option here, authorize by email. So when I click this option, what it does is it gives me a list of all of the customers' contacts and their emails. So we can see our customer number here, and here's all the contacts in the who's who. And from here, if I can go ahead and select the customer that I'm working with, or if need be, I can just type in their email address, or I can type in multiple email addresses if multiple folks want to receive an email in order to authorize this transaction. So once entered in, I can go ahead and save my order. Here's my order number. It's 7955. But I'm going to go ahead and save my order to my JD Edwards, and we're going to quickly re-inquire on this order through the customer service inquiry screen. And we're going to notice here that the order that we just entered is in a hold code. It's in a hold code, and it could be designated any hold code you desire. CA for credit card authorization holds. I just use C2 here in my environment. But basically what this is saying is that it's waiting for an authorization to be entered in by the customer. Now, when I click that button that says authorized by email and I entered their email in, they received an email similar to this, letting them know that this is their order number and how much is pending to be authorized. And then you can put some additional verbiage around this. It'll have your logo and your colors and so on and so forth. The customer will receive this encrypted email either on their phone or at their desktop, whatever it is, and they would obviously click on this Pay Now button, which is going to take them out to the hosted payment page. The same one that your salesperson worked with, but in this case, it's branded a little differently so that the customer, since they're interacting with it, has a better feel for what is going on. So that they can see their order information here, their order number and dates and PO number that was provided, and their order totals here that they have for their order, and even their products that they're purchasing. So all of this is part of the authorized by email capability that, again, now your customer takes the responsibility of entering in that payment information and not your salesperson or customer service rep personnel. They would take this option here, and they would key in the credit card themselves into the hosted payment page, assuring there that everything is then controlled by the customer. So now that they've entered it in, they would verify their own credit card information, and if everything is validated and good, they can go ahead and process the payment. Now that is completed, meaning they're out in the pay cloud, the customer enters that information, and you may notice that obviously when a customer is involved, it may happen immediately, or it may happen an hour from now, or it may happen a day from now. You set the time limit for that order before it expires. So you can set via parameters how long the customer has to go in and authorize it before that order expires. In addition, the customer, once they process their payment and authorize it, they will receive another email confirming that they've done a payment, with their order number, the amount, and the last 4 digits of the credit card and the amount authorized. At this point, if I return back to my JD Edwards environment, my order is still on hold because JD Edwards doesn't know that the customer has entered the payment yet. For it to know that, we provide you a UBE that you would run on your scheduler in unattended operations that retrieve all authorized by email payments. So you can run this every hour, every 15 minutes, once a day, however often you desire. And this will go ahead and pull back any payments done by customers through the authorized by email process. So now, remember, it's on C2 hold here. If I refresh my screen, it's off of C2 hold. And if I go into the prepayment record table, I can see that a authorization was entered in by the customer and it's ready to be continued the process. So this controls by putting that order on hold, not allowing the order to be processed until you receive payment. It also controls by pulling back those payments, writing in the information of the token that was associated to the order, and relieves it off of hold automatically so that everything is fully automated. And it puts the ownership on the customer in order to review their order, enter their payment information, and continue the process.